Welcome to today's program. My name is Dr. Lotanna Okoye, and this is the RMD series. Welcome today. Today we are continuing a few things you need to sort out before you say yes, I do. We'll handle a couple of them, and we're continuing with the episode today. And I'm on point number 4: unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectation, movie-driven love in quotes. There are people that build their relationship on what they see on movies, forgetting that somebody wore an acting mode. So don't be confused, because sometimes you say this is what it should be. No, that's not the way it should be. You need to find out if it's in line with the dictate of the marriage institution. It's very important. Not everything you see on the movie makes sense or should be done in your own relationship. That is why we're trying to help you balance, ensure that you get the right knowledge and skill. Unexpected marriages most times, what people expect in marriage most times, they want to see constant romance, constant or effortless happiness, emotional heights, and many other things. People like, this guy is not happening, you're not a happening person. Now, that's why I've said that anything you see during your courtship, before courtship and during courtship, is what you go with. And that's why I don't advise anybody rushing into marriage. To be a time frame when you get to know this person, watch the character, watch the attitude, and put the person through a few tests. I'm going to be sharing with you about 6 different tests you should put people through before you finally say yes to that person. That's not the topic for today, but we'll get there. This unexpected expectation or unrealistic expectation. For some of you think every day, you're going to wake up with a box of money near you. You think you're going to be seeing all of that happened during when they are weighing you. It's not the same thing. The days of pursue is different from now you are already married. So for some of you need to deal with those things. Fantasy creates disappointments. Some of you are fantasizing. The type of man you want to marry is a man that never gets angry. For any reason, he should not be angry. He's this kind of guy that smiles all the time, tall, handsome, bad, and all of that. You create those things in your mind. It's good to have a choice, but you must leave your mind a little bit open, right? So fantasy creates disappointments. Reality creates maturity. Some people before marriage, they think life is just the way they want it, until when they stepped in, and then they had to calm down, knowing now there are responsibilities, there are things to deal with, there are things to tidy up before you see the success of that marriage work. So you and I, especially from your own end, you are not yet married. For some reasons, you will need to learn and take care of these expectations. Some of them are not realistic. You are looking for a man that will give you every week, #1 million every week, and that's what you probably is doing it now, and you think he's going to continue doing that. Don't deceive yourself. He's doing that to capture you, and when he has captured you, he will need to go and break. Expectation is silent saboteur of many marriages. They started well, but because you had too much high expectation, it didn't work out. So that is why you need virtue. That's why you need values to help you stabilize some of the expectations. You that is also coming in as a woman, what are you coming in with? The man that is stepping and want to attract somebody to stay with, what values have you built? What virtues do you operate? A virtue like love is required in such an situation, because your expectation needs to be with love. You don't need to have too much high expectation. Then when the person is unable to fulfill them, you feel bad, you feel rejected, you start arguing. The scripture says love is patient, love is kind. These are the things that help you to step down, because if you have too high expectation, you are not going to be patient with your spouse. You're not going to be kind. You want it to happen your own way. Take note of that. The next point, because I need to run very fast, is the sexual history and value misalignment. So differences in sexual boundaries, differences in sexual expectation, in beliefs, some of you expect all manners in this new generation that we are. I marvel for the things that some of you have gotten yourself involved with. We now see all kinds of things happening, even with boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. And some want to take it into marriage. You need to unwind. You need to get those things off your head, because the institution you are entering into has rules and regulations. Marriage is for 2 mature persons, not for 3 or 4. So we are getting involved in all manners of things. I go with my girl to my boyfriend's house. Both of us sleep together there, sleep together with the guy. What a dangerous way of thinking. And we now see people take those things into their marriage. All kinds are happening. Scripture makes it clear that this is for 2 persons, not for 3, not for 4. And we are crossing boundaries. We are inventing strange things. And people are normalizing this kind of thing in their mind. Everything about sexual history, your value alignment, all of those things needs to be dealt with. Silent around sex again creates shame, mistrust, and brings about future conflict. You will need to talk about it. When I start teaching you now on the things to discuss in courtship, it's very important. The courtship season is not where you just smile, they tell you I love you say and all of that. No, it's the time to sit down to talk. You will need to talk about sex. What does sex truly mean to you, and how should it go? Because what people now have in their mind today so mixed up that we don't know which one. But we stick to the scripture and the standard of the scripture. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. That's the scripture in Hebrew chapter 13 verse 4. So it is not for you to bring in crazy things on your marriage bed. You need to stick to what is right and focus on that. So couples and the ones that are not yet married, as you start engaging, once you've gotten to the stage of courtship, this needs to be discussed. The kind of sexual values you have needs to be discussed. You don't stay in silence. It needs to be discussed. The third thing, or the next in line, is addiction and compulsive behavior. People come with addiction. You need to handle your addiction before you ever say yes to someone, because you are coming into somebody's home, into somebody's life. You don't carry addiction into it. Dependency on substance or behavior such as issues of pornography, gambling. Some of you, money is not in your hands. Alcoholism, the issue of drugs, issue of addiction, digital addiction. These things has to be dealt with, because you also have a spirit that comes with them. Deal with yourself before you entangle yourself with somebody else. Addiction has a lot of effect on people. It affects intimacy, trust, responsibility. And for some people that are already into some of this that I just mentioned, you're going to find that it's affecting your relationship, and you don't need that. Things like addiction to pornography, digital addiction, all of these things have a lot of effects in the final outcome of how your marriage finally ends or works out. So deal with that before you say yes. The last one for today is the issue of cultural and family influences. Unresolved parental control. Deal with that. Your parents should no longer have so much control on you when you get married. Part of the way to deal with that is that you start detaching yourself gradually. Remember, they have an input to make when it comes to who you finally marry. Very important. Once you are married, their words are no longer instructions. They become suggestions. The word of your spouse now become very important to you. Unhealthy family patterns, deal with that. These are things you have to settle down, because some people, these are your problems. The reason why you are not yet married. These are part of it. Cultural pressure affecting decisions. On a larger scale, we're going to raise a crusade on this issue of culture when it comes to cultural expectation for marriage, where people want you to buy all of the entire world just because you are coming to get married to their child. We're going to raise a campaign on that, especially in the southeast. You didn't contribute to the raising of this child, and suddenly you want everything on this earth to be present. They need to give you everything, and then when you're going home, you go with so much luggage, bags of these, bags of that. Let's help out to help our young people get married. And we're going to be propounding a lot of theories here when it comes to how your marriage should go. Who told you you must do it on a Saturday? Who even told you you must cook the whole food on planet Earth?